What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben, and welcome back to The Bench for another episode of our U.S.S. Shenzhou here on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. If you guys saw my last update video, you know why it's taken me 4 weeks to get back to the model kit, but that's all good. We're going to move forward and see what we can do. So I want to go ahead and work on the upper saucer section today and include all the little photo etch and really see what I can do with that. I also want to go ahead and maybe do a little bit of priming with some Stynylrez black primer. The white primer is just not cutting it. And also want to go ahead and work on the lower saucer section and fill in some of these damages that I accidentally caused. Maybe sometimes I would drill a little bit too much, or maybe my X-Acto knife would slip a little bit and I'd open up too much of an area, and then we're left with a light leak around the photo etch. So that's going to have to be patched and fixed as well. But before we do any of that, I want to go ahead and do the most tedious aspect of this particular project and install more photo etch. Now, last time we went ahead and came in here, just marked off the areas where the windows would be on the different sections of the hull and the saucer. What we're going to go ahead and do today is the exact same idea. We're going to cut the photo etch out of the photo etch tree, hold it up to the saucer, mark off the areas that should be drilled out, take the photo etch away, and then drill out those areas with my micro drill and an X-Acto knife to open up an entire section. So let's go ahead and jump into our first time lapse, guys. We're going to work on that saucer, get those PE parts installed, do some drilling, do some cutting, some sanding, some shaving down of parts, whatever we need to do. Let's get this done, see how it turns out. Let's do it. All right, everybody, so we are back, and that actually went much better than the undersurface of the saucer. Just kind of putting this together, you can see there's not a lot of photo etch, but the problem is these parts are so tiny, and they're very, very delicate. So it's taken a little bit of time to get it to this point, but I think we're actually moving along, and I'm pleased to say that this is going to be pretty cool if I can get all the lights to work. Now on the undersurface, we need to come back in and we need to go ahead and fix up a couple of areas where I accidentally cut a little bit too much of plastic, or I drilled out a little bit too much plastic. So we've got light leaks, we've got some areas that aren't really that great. So what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to fix all these gaps. For the larger gaps, go ahead and fill it back with some styrene, glue it down, and then overcoat it with maybe some super glue, come back in, sand that down, and then apply some Mr. Surfacer 500. I'll just apply it. I'll take some nail polish remover on a Q-tip and wipe it across. That'll remove most of the excess and it'll cut down on sanding. Then we'll come back in. I want to use some black Stynylrez primer to check all of our seams and of course to light block the inside of the saucers, and also probably do the same thing on the nacelles. So let's go ahead and jump into our second time lapse, see what we can do, get this wrapped up, and fingers crossed this works out. All right, everybody, so we are back, and as you can see, the Stynylrez covered nicely. We've got everything light blocked with that Stynylrez black primer. We have a little bit of primer on the undersurface as well, just to check for light leaks and to make sure my seams look good. I think it actually turned out to be pretty decent. Again, I just used a very basic Mr. Surfacer, some super glue. Might be a few areas that need a little bit more attention, but so far, I'm happy with it. The Mr. Surfacer 500 trick works like a charm, and I was able to use that to go ahead and basically just fill in all the seams that didn't need to be there. And then of course, styrene to patch the large holes. If you hold it up to the light, you can see we do have portholes and it does actually shine through. So I'm pretty happy about that. We'll have to go ahead and figure out a way to diffuse the light. Other than that, we're headed in the right direction. We have to go ahead and work a bit on the upper surface of the top part of the saucer, but that'll be next time because I'm kind of tired, and boy, putting on photo etch is so tedious. So we're going to have to go ahead and come back and do a little bit more work here on the top of the saucer. We also have to figure out what we want to go ahead and do for that rear shuttle bay. Do we want to go ahead and put it in, or do we want to leave it out? I don't know. The secondary hole looks pretty good. I went ahead and primed that with Stynylrez. We will have to come in and light block those openings between the photo etch and the plastic, but I don't want to do that yet till I actually install my light. The nacelles are looking okay. We also overcoated those with that black Stynylrez primer. Luckily for me, there's no photo etch on the inside of that, so only parts we have are for the exterior. So we'll wait until we actually get the nacelles all attached together. So those are actually pretty close to being done. We just have to figure out the lighting and the wire path. As you can see, when we put the two saucers together, it does have a very interesting look. If we can get this all lit up, I think it's going to be really, really snazzy. Now, I don't know how that's going to work out. I'll probably have to put multiple LEDs on each side of the saucer, different points of light. I don't know how that's going to work. I really, really don't. But I'm hopeful we can pull something out here. And if nothing else, at least we have a chance to practice some of our newly found interests. Now, the nacelles are basically finished. All we have to do is take some clear red and paint the clear part up inside the nacelles, and also for the impulse engines as well. I want to make sure that when the lights are not on, it still looks red. That's going to be probably pretty easy to do. Other than that, guys, I think we're moving right along. This is quite a project, and I gotta tell you, I might have bitten off a little bit more than I'm used to. I think we're going to push through. We're going to get something done. I don't know how it's going to turn out in the end, but I think we're going to make something pretty interesting. Again, we do have to come in and do a little bit of repair work here on the upper portion of the saucer, but luckily I did that a lot better than I did on the undersurface. There's not that many PE parts for the upper surface, mostly for the undersurface of the saucer, with all those steps and those recesses and all that, but I think we're actually pretty good. Big shout out to Kenny over at HLI for sending me the green strawberry photo etch set for the Shenzhou. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. So sorry for the 4-week wait. Next episode we'll be back, and we're going to try to do a little bit more here and get the Shenzhou one step closer to being finished. You know the drill. Go out there and get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on episode number 4 for Sci-Fi Wednesdays and the U.S.S. Shenzhou. Thanks so much, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.